Hi, I'm Jenny,
And I'm John.
and this is our home.
What do you remember about the first time we met?
So, John and I met in 2019, and I remember matching on Hinge and spending the next several days chatting while he was away on a hockey trip.
I also remember that. I was there with my dad and with my brother, and I remember that all I wanted to do on that trip was talk to you. I believe we actually went on our first date 2 days after I got back from that trip.
That's true. We met a couple days later and spent the entire night chatting and closed down the restaurant, which was tough because it was a Tuesday night, so both of us had an early morning the next day, but we just couldn't stop talking.
I remember thinking very early during that date that uh, this feels right, and I knew pretty early when we started dating that you were the one, and that you were the person I wanted to not only spend the rest of my life with, but that she was also the person that I wanted to create a family with. After about a year of dating, we got engaged, and then about a year after that, we got married in October of 2021. We welcomed a second dog to our family, and we bought a house and really started getting after some of those things that we had been talking about very early in our dating life.
So, in a couple of years before I met John, I was diagnosed with endometriosis and was told that the likelihood of me getting pregnant naturally was very unlikely. So IVF was something that was encouraged and something that I was very open with John even on our first date, because that is a lot to put on somebody else. So as soon as we got married, after a few months, we tried to start IVF and went through several cycles, and it started to feel like we were trying to force something that maybe wasn't meant to be, that maybe we were meant to become parents in a different way. Adoption was something that we always talked about, even from our first date, and something that we were both very open to. And I think now we feel like that is, what we were meant to do and how we are going to welcome a child one day. Let's talk about some of the stuff that we like to do in our free time.
Sure. So we are season ticket holders to the Chicago Cubs. So we go to probably about 12 to 15 baseball games a year. We are kind of obsessed in that regard. And then once a week we go see my aunt and uncle who live nearby, and we get to see my three cousins and their spouses, one of whom just had their first child. It's a really nice way to kind of end the week. We typically go on Thursdays and have spaghetti and meatballs. It was a tradition that was started by my grandmother on my dad's side many years ago, and something that we picked back up probably about 10 years ago. It's really nice, getting family's a very important thing to Jenny and I, and so being able to, really kind of wind down a week and then spend 2 to 3 hours with people that really mean a lot to us is really special. It's not something that everybody is fortunate enough to have, and so we feel very grateful for having that, as well as the great relationships that we have with our siblings and with their children as well.
Yep, so John and I have 6 nephews and 1 niece. So my sister lives in Texas, and we have 4 nephews, and so we try to visit as often as we can and FaceTime most days. My sister and I have a very close relationship. It's just the two of us growing up, so we talk many times each day and keep up with each other's life and what's going on, and especially what's going on with our 4 nephews. And then John's brother lives in Peoria with his wife and 2 kids, Joey and Maddie. And we try to visit them as often as we can and see Joey in the community play.
This is Murray. We adopted him about 4 years ago while we were dating. He is very energetic, and he just absolutely loves everyone that he meets.
He loves giving kisses.
We know that this decision is going to be an important and big decision in your life. We are so looking forward to starting a family and raising a child. And if you select us, please know that we will love this child unconditionally, and it will be the greatest gift of our lives.
And we will do everything to raise this child with empathy and love and give him or her the best life that we can.